Good afternoon, everybody. It is K3, or Kaius the III, as many call me, and I am here today to show a build guide for a build that many people have been asking for. A little bit of background: I've played this game for about a little over a year, maybe a year and a half. It's hard to say. I can't pinpoint the exact date, and I fell in love with the game. You know, I played a lot of Path of Exile, a lot of Diablo 3 in my day. And this just hit all the things that I wanted from both games. You know, like very open, very customizable. I like the dual class. You know, like, I'm a big D&D player, so dual classing, multi-classing is a big polar to me. And you know, I live stream this build, and I've been live streaming Grim Dawn for a little bit now, and I keep getting people that come in and asking me, how do you make that build? What are you running? How do you get your offense, defense so high? And I'm finally here to show you a build, so you don't have to go searching through the live streams. So, first thing you should know about me on Grim Dawn: when it comes to devotions, I'm very defensive. This is all you can. You guys can change this around however you want. I'm just going to show you how it's worked for me. I'm very defensive on devotions because I believe that you need to be defensive there and you can be offensive on your gear. That's just how I am. Not saying that's all like that, but a majority. Number two, I stack offense and defense abilities priority over anything, because you raise your offense ability, you're critting and hitting more. You raise your defense, you're getting hit less, you're getting crit less. So those have been my priority since day one. I've come to learn that over the years. It's not about DPS, it's about your offense and defense. So what this character is he is a dual wield gunner tactician. So he's an Inquisitor soldier, and we're kind of going to go through gear, skills, devotions, and then we're going to do a quick run from Broken Hill all the way to the key zone, skeleton key zone, and go fight Alcamos, just to show you what the build can do. So, first things first, he is a tactician, as I said, soldier, Inquisitor, just to show you again. He's running two classes. Soldier, very defensive, gives great support for the defensive nature, but also has some good offense support. And then, pretty much the bread and butter of the build, which you're going to be working around cadence. You get that from Soldier, which we'll get into that. I'll go through each ability, so if I have new viewers, you guys know what they are. If you've never played a Soldier before, you know what they are. Inquisitor, just great for gunning of any kind, dual wielding or two-handing. Has great support and healing, good auras, good buffs. Probably my favorite class at the moment, especially one of my favorite things that came out of the Malmouth expansion. But we're going to go ahead and go through the gear. I'm going to go through each piece. I'll tell you how rare it is. I'll tell you if there's any other option. And I'll tell you what you can expect, how hard it is to find. So, first things first, we have Mythical Havocs. Now, these are a must. You want two of them. Like, I wouldn't put any other gun. And since we're a physical build, we're mainly a physical build. Physical Pierce, Eternal Trauma, a little bit of Elemental, but not much. These they buff physical damage. They each come with Leech, so you're getting a ton of Leech, like 8% off this one gun. Attack speed, movement speed, and then you're getting +3 and +2 to two of the soldier skills that are part of your default attack. You get Deadly Aim, which is a buff from Inquisitor, +2 Inquisitor skills, and then you're getting a buff to a soldier skill, which is called Fighting Spirit, and a buff to World of Renewal. Now, what's cool about that, if you run two of them, which I'm doing, those bottom buffs stack, and so do all the other ones. So I'm getting 6 to Deadly Momentum, 4 to Cadence, 4 to Deadly Aim, 2 to Inquisitor, 20% attack speed to Fighting Spirit, 3% cooldown reduction, and 8% offense ability. And since we're trying to stack offense and defense above everything else first, that is a huge bonus. So we're running 2 Mythical Havocs. The components on each of them, I'm running, I think the same one. No, different one. So this component is just physical and lightning. I do a little bit of lightning, so it's okay. Add some health, some bit resist. And this component is a seal of... Well, that's the augment I'm looking at. I'm sorry, that was the augment. So that's the augment at the bottom. The augment on this one, I guess we'll go through, is similar, but it's doing chaos damage, which I do none, but it gives health and health percentage, so I kind of wanted one of those. I just wanted more HP. Can't go wrong with more HP. As for the component, these are new Malmouth crafted. They require Ugnin Bloom. Other than that, they're usually not too hard to make other than Ugnin Bloom. The rest of the stuff's manageable. This is Seal Blades. It'll buff your Pierce and Bleed damage, give you more Leech. And then it'll give you an aura that just does a little bit of damage, just like 2 to 3k hit. Increases your armor a little bit, and it'll give you some Pierce resist. And then we got Seal Might, also a new component from Malmouth. And it'll give you some Fizz damage, Bleed, Internal Trauma, some health. The Aether conversion does nothing. And then we're looking at an aura that just buffs 3 resists, Pierce, Vitality, Bleed, and then Fizz resist, which is great for a gunning class. So you're getting a little bit of tanky out of there, you're getting some resist taken care of, as well as getting some damage from the base of the components. So it's a 2-for-1. So these, rarity-wise, I would say out of a 10, like 10 being the super rare, 1 being common, I would put these at about an 8. Like, I've come across 4 in my whole time playing expansion. I played a lot of hours on the expansion, let's put it that way, a lot of hours. I would say I found 2, and I traded for 2. And the thing that's about a Havoc, some are way better than others. Like, this one's okay, this one's great. Like, this one is better in every way, and I would love to have more like this. Like, just every little bit matters. So I'm always still looking for them, always trying to find better pairs. They're really good. So I'd say about 8 out of 10. Next, and you're wondering why I'm wearing greens. Well, number 1, guys, I don't know if I said, but this is a setless build, which I'm proud of. Most of my classes and builds have sets. This has 0 sets. Was not needed. It works better without sets. Like, some people will ask me, why don't you do Warborns? Well, Warborns is not as good as what these will do for you, I promise you. And the cool thing about this green, you get it from Revered Rep vendor. You get it from the Covens of Refuge vendor. So every time you log in, you can go to that vendor, check him really quick, see if he has a better one, see if he has one with higher stats, higher numbers that you can just replace. It's very easy to get. So I would put this on a 1 on the rarity list, obviously. Easy to farm, just need the rep. And this just gives us your damage types, all 3, and then 2 resists, including chaos. It buffs both skills you're using. And component-wise, you could put whatever you want there. I chose to go with more offense because, again, I'm trying to stack offense, defense as much as I can. You can see the numbers right now. These are inaccurate. I'll tell you why in a second. These are not what they are. They're actually way higher. But trying to stack as much as I can. Just flat damage, reduce entrapment. Why not? Nobody likes getting stuck by those hulking freaking skeleton gargantuan things. Nobody likes that. Or the chthonic, like, Avenger guys. For rep, or augment on this guy, we're running a Revered Borrowhome rep augment. And it's pretty simple what it does. It just gives 3% health, 8% constitution. I didn't need the resist, so if you don't need the resist, the good thing is you can put health, which is cool now. That's a new thing that I like that they added. Next we got the mythical... Oops, let me go there. Mythical Hellforged leg plates. We do some fire. We do some elemental, guys. Like, if I were to go to the fire... I mean, we're doing like 511. We're doing like between 4 to 600 on elements. So not great, but like if you're looking like physical, they're a lot higher. And these aren't even all the numbers included. So we're running these because they buff 2 of my skills. They give some chaos resist, fizz resist. The proc in it's pretty much no damage. Honestly, it's not that good. And then component. Again, I'm running a scaled hide. I'm probably going to replace it. I don't think I need the armor absorb. I got it in other places. I think something maybe like a sacred plating. I don't know if they can go in pants. Would do better. So we might do that. And then we're running a new augment Pierce Aether. That's either from Coven or Malmouth Resistance. I want to say it's Malmouth Resistance. It's buffing Pierce and Aether. It's pretty solid. But I'm considering changing it for these pants. Yeah, I'm going to lose 2 to Cadence and 2 to Bursting Round, which I'll have to rearrange in my tree. But you get this nice Battlecry proc, which is up a lot of the time. It's up 66% of the time, pretty much. And it's just a big-ass Battlecry. And I think, it works on allies, and emboldens your allies. So it's good for party play, which I do a lot of. I play usually in duels with a couple friends. So for now, we have these on, but these can be changed. Next, rarity-wise, probably a 2 or 3 out of 10. I've seen a lot of them. I've probably seen like 15 or 20 pairs, to be honest. So these aren't too hard to find. Mythical Reforged Change of Illyrian. I think it's craftable. I think you can find it too. I found this one. Like, I was literally talking about it and it dropped a mob later. It was pretty funny because I really needed one. but it buffs 4 damage types to use. Flat damage, crit, vitality, +1 soldier. Just a great belt. Just a great belt. I know a lot of people want this belt, are looking for them for their builds, because it's just solid. It does everything. Component-wise, we're running Bloom leather. That's a new component. Defensibility, again, which I like, and then it buffs poison bleed resist. Getting 2 resist for 40% resist total for a component is great. And then we're using Borrow Home Rep again on it. I would say this, I've traded for 1, I've come across 2 findings, so 3, I've seen 3. I would probably say this is like a rarity 6, something like a 6. That's what I would say. Next we got a Mythical Markovian Stratagem. Flat Fizz, obviously the shields do nothing for us. Pierce and Acid Resist, good. Maximum Pierce Resist, cool. Pierce Retaliation, don't really care about that, but it's there. This buffs 3 skills that we use on our tree, but I actually don't have points in Horn yet. I might put some, just to have a point in Horn. I think it goes up to 8, so I might do it. I'm still up in the air about that. I haven't needed it, because this guy's already completed Crucible 150. He does Crucible 150 extra spawn, no problem on Gladiator, no problems. He can do most stuff. So I'm still messing around with things, see if I can tweak things. But the coolest thing about this is it just makes your Markovian Advantage, which is a proc you'll be using, hit harder. Since we can't use an augment on our component, we're using a Tainted Heart. That's also a new mat, which will require Bloom and some Rotten Hearts. Just offense ability, 2 resist, and crit. Just simple. You're starting to see a theme. I have offense and defense and everything, it feels like. Next we got Runeguard Greaves. Movement speed, health, 2 resist, Fizz resist, buffing 2 skills we use, and then that beautiful, beautiful Aether Shield. I don't care about the element on that or the reduced entrapment. Those are cool, but being able to absorb Aether is so big when that is like most of the game, like a lot of the game. That and Chaos, so very helpful. Makes stuff like Anasteria and Wave 170 and Crucible, for people that know what I'm talking about, a joke. You can just pretty much stand there and not have to worry about her. And then component, again, another Bloom leather, get those defenses, and then another Borrow Home Rep, 3% health augment. Now the gloves, I know they're horrible. Don't even tell me that. I know. I thought about using mythical. What the hell is it called? Quick Draw gloves. But the reason I like these is they come with poison resist on them. I need it about that much. It has cunning. It buffs damage. I didn't really need the attack speed. And then it buffs one of my skills. I know we don't get the proc, but they're okay. You could probably use greens. You could probably use quick draws. You could probably work it out any way you want. You just have to change probably the augment on it to poison resist, but it's really preference. I'm just wearing these for now. I like the cunning, honestly. 77 cunning's cool. But yeah, we're running another Bog leather for that defense, and then another augment for the health. Now this is our, rarity wise, sorry, on this, I'd say a 9 out of 10. This is the only one I've seen. I had to trade for it. Never see these things drop. For this, probably like 4 or 5 out of 10. I've seen like 5 or 6 pairs. These, they're like 2 out of 10. I've seen tons. Now this would be a 1 out of 10 rarity. You could purchase these from the Malmouth Resistance and Steel District rep area. And again, what's cool is every time you log in, check for a new pair, see if there's a better pair. Now we don't use Blitz, but we get +3 to Cadence. 2 really hard resists to come by, and especially on the same piece, Aether and Chaos. It's great. Buffs physical, trauma, flat fizz, chance to avoid projectiles. Component on there, we're running a Sacred Plating, also a new mat that will require Bloom, 210 health, Armor Absorb, Vit and Aether resist, and then we're running Pierce Aether as our augment on that one. Mythical Havoc, we did. Now we're moving on to the rings. Mythical Signet of Astral Ruminations, Fizz and Lightning. We don't do a lot of lightning, but still there. Some attack speed, 3 resist, max resist, buffing 2 of our skills. It's a pretty good ring overall. Good to have one. Component, running a Runebound. That's also a new one. We're running a lot of new components because they're just strong. Flat health and defense ability, again, one of my favorites. Don't care about the shield block, but the other 2 were worth it. And then for an augment, this is my one exception ring. We're running that because it is my highest damage augment, and it still has defense ability. and I figured one would be okay to run. But I'll show you what I'm running on my neck and ring. They're completely different, but overall, I like having one of these augments. And the component I wouldn't change. I like the Runebound Topaz. And they made it, what they did with this expansion, guys, what's good, like these sacred platings and stuff, they made it a lot easier to get the health that some classes don't have, like Occultist. Like if you go like Occultist, I don't know, Occultist Nightblade, there's no health buff. So they're pretty much on their own. So this gives you a chance at least to get some. But back to what we were doing. I would say rarity, 5 or 6 out of 10 for a blue. I've seen 2, 3 maybe. And don't see them often. Definitely a good ring to have though. Next is Jackson's Lucky Bullet. Pierce and Bleed. I don't care about the Bleed as much, but at least Pierce. Offense, defense on it. 2 resist and max resist. Buffs one of my skills. And then you get Lucky Shot, which, funny thing, about 3 weeks ago, it was bugged and the skill would proc off itself. So you'd literally shoot one time and it would proc like a billion times and kill the whole wave. But they fixed it, but it's still good. It's still strong. Still worth using if you're a physical build. Even if you're not, it just does decent damage. Goes off quite a bit. It's AoE, so why not? So you get the proc, another Runebound Topaz, and then the augment I use for this in my neck, Survivor's Ingenuity. It is a Devil's Crossing Revered rep. 20% all damage, which doesn't end up being as much as the other one. It's not far off though, that's why I'm using it, and it raises both defense and offense percentages. Rarity wise, I would say 6 out of 10, probably the same as the blue. I've seen about just as many. Now we got a mythical Peerless Eye of Baronath. 12 crit damage, 86 offense, resist, +1 all skills, great neck. Now they just nerfed the proc on it. It was a little bit higher, but it's still good. And it's just pretty much you hit it, anything within 5 meter radius will lose some offense ability, has a chance to get turned stone. It's good. It's good when you're playing a tank gunner, you know, it just helps out. Component wise, also a new component. Probably my favorite component ever. Attack speed, spirit, minus skill cost. And then 15% chance on crit. I'm telling you guys, this build crits all the time. You're not going to not crit. Like, with the offense ability we hit and defense reduction we put, you're going to crit probably like 50-60% of the time. You're going to lower their offense and defense when you crit too, which is the funny part. So it will just keep going off. And it's a 5-second duration, 1-second recharge. And then it pretty much has like, kind of like a Doom Boltish proc where it's going to reduce max health. Or reduce the enemy's health, sorry. And then if they're like a regenning mob or there's regen like the Crucible wave, at least you can help deal with some of that and reduce it. But it's really strong. Same exact augment as the other one. Damage, offense, defense. Rarity wise, I only got this because a friend that I played Diablo with for years that I still talk to and play Grim Dawn with from time to time gave it to me as a gift. This is the only one I've ever seen. And I know on the forums people are always looking for them. I never see them come up for trade. I would say that is a 9, possibly a 10 on the rarity list. But there are alternatives. There's necks you can craft with +1 skills if you really can't that are close to this. So I wouldn't worry too much about if you can't get this right away. You can work around this. Next we got a Ravager's Dreadgaze. 57 all damage, 3% leech, 3 energy, 2 resist, cooldown +1 all skills, and then a proc, which is just great. It's just an AoE reduction of enemy health and resist. So make you hit harder, has a low cooldown. Looks like this. That's it right there. Pretty good radius since you're going to be in the front lines with things. So it's a good helm. Component, we're running health, stun reduction, because you don't want to get stunned, especially in Crucible, by all the trolls and titans and all the fun stuff that come at you. And then borrow home rep for the health. But that helm, honestly, rarity-wise, is a 1. But getting it is the problem. You have to go through borrow home, do the quest, and you have to defeat the Ravager. There's 3 kinds, and they're slightly different. The second ability changes. Like, this one has leech, but there's one that has crit instead, and one that has max health. I chose the leech one. You have to be able to kill Ravagers of Souls, and I had my friend who made one of those cheese retaliation builds that takes like no damage, but it takes him like 30 years to kill something. So he pretty much said, hey, I'll tank for you. If you can come kill these, we can farm like 5 or 6 helmets. So that's what we did. We split helmets down the middle, so that's how I got mine. Just need a tank to help you out. Haven't really tried them on my own. I don't know how I do, honestly. This guy's killed Mog Dragon on normal, but he hasn't really tried him anywhere else, so we'll probably get around to those runs eventually. But that's the gear, guys. Overall, no sets, which I'm proud of, and he's really strong. No sets. And I've been live streaming him. He's been clearing Crucible 150, no problem. And he's been strong, so I'm happy with him. That's the gear. Now skills, for people that aren't familiar with the game, all skills can be overcapped past what they are. So I can put 12 points instead of 12. But if I have things that raise it by numbers, it can go past 12, up to 10 higher. So instead of being 12, I can get this up to 22 if I wanted. But right now, I have probably 8 points in it, because I think I'm getting +4 to all my soldier skills. I might have 6.6. I think I'm getting specific points to Markovian and specific points to soldier. So some skills are worth overcapping, some not. And we're just going to go through these left to right. We cap out just at normal cap, Markovian advantage. It's just 25% chance on attack with your default attack, extra damage, and you're going to reduce the defense ability, which means you're going to do more crits, hit them more. Great little proc. It's going to do extra damage because of this, 35% more damage, which is cool. Weapon damage, which is huge. So we cap that out. We also just soft cap this, I call it, because hard cap would be higher. So this is, we're going to call it soft cap when it's just normal cap. Again, 25% chance off default attack. Extra damage, chance to slower their attacks. Nothing wrong with that. It's a free proc. Why not? Now, we run Fighting Spirit. This is as high as it can go. This is as high because I only have +4 to soldier, so it's not going any higher than that. But it's just a 44% chance of activating when taking damage, and it will last 8 seconds, be on a 15-second cooldown, so it's 50% up. It's just a huge damage and huge offense, like almost 300 offense. It actually is because of the multipliers you get. It's more than 300%. So it's huge. Huge, 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 huge. Huge buff. That's up a lot. Next we got Cadence, the bread and butter of the build. This is where everything starts. So Cadence is an attack that replaces your default attack. But it still allows defaults to a proc out. So even though I'm using Cadence, these will proc off of it. Because that's what it says. It counts as your default attack. So all Cadence is your first 2 shots will be regular default shots, but every 3rd shot will be a super shot. In this case, the 3rd shot will be 500% damage. It's huge, and then it has flat damage on top of it. So Cadence, we have it hard capped at 26 out of 16. We're getting a really strong Cadence. This I didn't decide to get. We don't want Elemental. We do very little, and this would nerf our damage. Next, we get Fighting Form at the soft cap. And all this does is you want to soft cap it because that makes your Cadence have a 100% chance to pierce. So now you can target that annoying healing priest that's in the back of all the mobs in front of you and still kill it while killing the stuff in front of you. Just gives you pierce and extra damage. It's great. Next is what makes Cadence strong. Deadly Momentum. We have it hard capped. And all this is every time you shoot, you're going to get a buff. For 4 seconds, that buffs all your damage with the falling blow. All that flat damage and all those percentages. So you pretty much shoot 1 bullet, and your DPS and your paper doll, as you'd call it, would double. So, where in this case it's like 33k, it would probably hit 66. Just from Deadly Momentum. That's not including any other buffs. It goes right to 66. From 1 little shot. So Deadly Momentum is what sells the build. Cadence starts it. This helps you AoE. This sells the build. Next, we got Field Command. We cap it as high as we can go. Offense, defense ability. It's AoE too, so it works in a party, increases armor. Simply said, that's my number 1 thing I like to up is offense, defense. We keep it. Sub-skill, squad tag, which is damage and attack speed. I feel the soft cap is good enough. There are other things I could raise if I really want damage percent that are better. So we'll just keep that. We then have this as high as it can go. Military conditioning, just physique percent and 19% health. I'm always a sucker for raw stats. If you can get them, why not? Everything starts with those raw stats. Next we got Decorated Soldier. I think we put 1 point into it, and it gets +4. Just helps with the resist, a little bit of extra damage. For a 1 pointer, why not? And it Scars of Battle, Armor Absorb, which is great. Bleed Resist, nice. Stun and Freeze, which is huge, so the stun will go in addition to our leathery hide on our helm, put us at like 57% stun resist, that's good. And the cool thing about this, there's an Inquisitor skill that also gives freeze resist, so you pretty much become... Freeze won't bother you, let's put it that way. You don't need freeze pots. That's pretty much it for Soldier. We stop at 40 on the Mastery bar. You don't need to go any further, we don't use either of these. Inquisitor, we go all the way to 50. And we start with ranged expertise. So 1 point lets you dual wield. We just cap it at soft cap though, because it doesn't get much better if you look like 2% and a little bit of pierce. But it just buffs your damage. Just a pretty good, just passive buff that's always going on. Nothing wrong with it. Bursting shot. Now all the Inquisitor procs have a 20% chance to go off, which usually happens at like 6 or 7. So that's why some of these won't be capped. But bursting shot, we have soft cap. It's just big physical and fire AoE damage that can happen on attack. It will proc off cadence, which is awesome. So we have a 3rd proc for cadence, a 4th, and a 5th proc. Next we have chilling rounds. It's already at its 20% chance to be used. Don't do a lot of cold damage. It's already doing the freeze. I got it to 8 out of 10. I didn't need to put more in there. I think it's getting +7 to it. That's the only reason it's level 8. Or I'd probably lower it to like 6. But we're okay with this. 8 out of 10 is fine. Now Storm Spread, we have it 16 out of 10. This is when we overcap because the more you cap it, the more projectiles. So at level 7, it gets a 4th projectile. That's something to note. At level 16, it gets a 5th projectile. At 20, it might get more, but I don't know. And I can't even go that high. 16 is as high. I think 17 is as high as I can go. And it doesn't give me an extra projectile, so I don't care. So Storm Spread is just huge AoE. Got the extra projectile, so we put 16 points in it. Pretty done with that. Now, this is my favorite skill combo in all Grim Dawn right now. This thing is so strong. Like, people who've used Blood of Dreeg or Pneumonic Burst understand the importance of the healing buffs because they're great. They have a lower cooldown than their duration, so they are infinitely up as long as you are hitting that button. And they usually heal you when you reactivate them, and they have a slew of buffs that follow them. So we're going to go through this one. We obviously can't use this because we don't have a two-hander, but this is what it does. I have it overcapped as much as I can. It's going to do a percentage heal whenever I activate it. It's going to last 30 seconds. It's going to be on an 11.5 second cooldown because I do have some cooldown reduction. And I have cooldown for the skill specifically because of the Haddox. So it ends up being like a 5k heal. 5k heal to the party. Less damage for Chthonics and the Eldritch, which is everything you fight in the game. Flat defense ability. And flat movement speed. This is why I don't need a Mog Dragon's Mark on my boots. I am so overcapped on movement speed between this and Devotion, it's not funny. And my boots, I think, already have 8% off. So I think just between my boots and this, we're like 10 away from cap before even going to Devotion. But that's just the first part, guys, of the buffs and the heal. The second part gives flat health. So anyone in your party is going to get health. I think that ends up bringing my HP, let's see, 13.8? We're at 13.8 right now. Brings you up to 69, so it's like 2,500 health because of my multipliers. So that's giving me about 2,500 health. Freeze reduction, entrapment, and petrify. So again, status specs, and again the freeze reduction duration. I think that puts me like 70 or 60%. Next we got Steel Resolve, flat fizz damage, buffs 3 damage types, and then damage versus Chthonics and Elders, which you fight. And then look at that, Aether and Chaos resist 30% on one piece. That is huge. That just means between that and just this, I pretty much have more than half my Aether and Chaos done, between two things. Next, we have this. The reason I have it capped as high as I do is because it has offense ability on it. But yeah, just pierce damage, pierce percent, status elemental damage percent, and then fizz resist. And reduction and burn I don't really care about, but the physical resist is nice. Puts you a little tanky. Offense on it, it's really strong. Pretty good aura to have. Then you get Deadly Aim, which is similar to Fighting Spirit. It will activate. But it doesn't really say how it activates. It's just a single place shot, well shot, or a critical blow. So I mean a crit will do it. I guess a well placed blow, whatever that means, maybe a killing blow, I don't know. But what that will do is it will just give you a damage buff, crit damage, and look, 18% offense. It's huge. Low cooldown, it's not 50% of the time. With that got Inquisitor Seal, it's just this. Put that on the ground, stand in it. Enemies will take damage, you'll get damage absorb, some extra elemental resistant health regen. And the sub skill of it will make you get some piercing damage, elemental damage, crit, and retaliation. So those are the skills. But as I said, we might, you can always change some stuff. Like, I'm not against actually putting points in this. I've thought about it a few. So why not? Reduce this fizz resist. Could be good. We'll think about it. Could put a point here. You get +4 to it. But keep in mind, you're getting a minimum of +4 to all this stuff. It might be more. So 1 point becomes 5. So those are options. I mean, you could skill this how you could put more points in here if you really want to. You don't need to. But that's where I'm at. So far, he's good. And those are the classes. Leveling wise, I start as soldier, get the cadence. Along the way, I'll put a point in these only. 1 point for now. That's all you'll need for now. Try and get cadence at least to like a 10 by the time you're here. And then I'd probably get this up. You can go all the way if you want to get the 100% pierce. Since that's your AoE pretty much for now. You could do that. And then I'd maybe cap this out. And then once you get like these two capped out, I would stop here. Go to Inquisitor. Grab this. You might want to grab it sooner just for the 1 point to get the dual wield. That's fine too. Grab this, put a point. Go over, put a point. Over, point, point. Over, point, point. Over, put a point. Over, put a point. And then you're going to go here and get this 7. The reason I say 7 is 7 will give you a 4th projectile instead of 3. And then you can worry about capping it later, like an end game. And then after that, you can really do whatever you want. You can either finish to here if you need the stats, you get this. You can go back and start bringing these up. You could definitely go over here and bring Deadly Momentum, which is probably your biggest damage increase. I mean, it's really up to you. Everyone to each their own. Then we got Devotion, which we are really defensive. We don't even go to this side. This side's bad. And the part that will get you killed, it will give you a lot of good offenses, but then you will be like, why do I only have 1900 defense ability? So we stay over here. Unless you're using this, that's my rule. Unless I use this, I don't go over here. So, I'm going to show you how we do this. I'm going to show you what I have, and I'm going to show you the order I get it in. So first, we get Turtle. We got Turtle. It's very defensive. Gives you your blue and gold. Defense ability, health. Gives you a damage absorb shield, which will be up. It's like extra health that you'll have once in a while, pretty much. Very strong. You get the Assassin's Blade, some offense, defense, damage types you're using, and then a physical pierce reduction, which is 90% of your damage, so why not? We pick up this Constellation, which we don't fill up all the way, and I'll explain why later. Brings some good stats, damage, resist, defense ability, and a proc that will just do more AoE. We get the Crab, which brings up 2 of our damage types, 3 of our damage types. It gives you a really underrated damage shield, so pretty much 50% chance when hit. Every 3 seconds you'll get a 3000 shield, or 2300 shield versus Elemental, Aether, Chaos. It's really nice since your boots absorb Aether, it's just a little bit more. And for Chaos it helps. Really good, really strong, underrated. Bard's Heart, my favorite devotion of all time right now. It says everything. Health, damage, energy, resist, health, resist, damage. And then a proc that will have Restore Energy, which is AoE. It works for allies too. Entrapment duration, slow duration, energy regen, offense, defense ability. It's up 50% of the time again. It's just more numbers. Got this for the crit and the offense that it provides. The Eel, just because it's cheap, 3 points. 3 points for 5 blue, why not? Get some defense stats. Got the Lizard for the health, also 3 points for 4 blue, very cheap. We then get this, which is resist and defense ability, 5%. Put 2 points here just to get this, which is 5% and 25 more defense ability because we're trying to stack it. This is not a pet devotion, guys, and I'll tell you why. Pet guys want this usually, which is green and red. They want this, which is purple and green. This is blue and gold. There's no way you can get all 5, and as much as this is good, those ones are way better for pets in my opinion. So this, I was like, why not use it? It gives you, look, 900 flat health between 5 runes. Gives you some resist. Gives you some speed, some defense ability. And then why not a 45% damage shield? Why not? Just great. One more thing I forgot to show you guys. I just saw it. Relic, I didn't show you that. Mogdragon's Ardor, +1 skills. That's literally what we use. It gives you an aura of 8% total speed. That's why we use it. Why not? Health, +1 skills. I value +1 skills a lot. So It's as simple as it looks. You could put whatever you want there. You just have to redo your skill tree a little bit, and you'd lose a lot of points. So it just works. Anyway, getting back, yeah, we get that damage shield. And then we get Tree of Life. I've always liked this devotion. Gives some defensive abilities, health regen, health. And we got our big proc, which just gives health restored and regen and energy regen. Between this and this, there's no energy problems at all. So this is good. Or do we get this? Before we start our game plan, I'll show you how this works. We'll go through the key zone. Put a point in gold. Grab your turtle. Refund the point in gold. You no longer need it. So you're going to refund it. You're going to go here. After here, pick up Assassin's Blade. Pick up Eel. Okay? You're pretty much trying to get here quick, and you need blue, purple, and gold. So you're going gold, turtle, remove the gold, grab the sword, grab the eel, put a point in purple. Okay? Put a point in purple. Temporarily grab like this. Okay? You're going to need it to get the prerequisite for this. Grab the crab. Okay? Once you have the crab, between this and this, you will have 6 purple to pay the prerequisite cost. You then will refund the hammer or wherever you put it in. You'll refund all the points, refund the crossroad. Okay? So you no longer need those. Next, you will get the Bard's Harp. That is the next one. Okay? Bard's Harp is next. You'll then grab the Panther. And by getting the Panther, you'll have enough to grab this. Okay? That'll put you at like 16 blue by that point. 16 blue, 10 gold. So you'll have your prerequisites to grab this. Go grab this next. Boom. Go grab this next. Then you grab the lizard. You come up and grab the Tree of Life. And then, since we have 6 points active, you can either put them here, which I did not like as much. I tried it. Because then you have to lose this too, honestly, to get the 7th point. Because why not? But I tended to like this, because this buffs damage, gives some stats, percentage stats, resists, extra damage, defense ability, and it gives a proc that's just AoE, so why not? I figured this was better. That's just my opinion. These 6, really put them wherever you want. Just for me, what's open, I don't know. I mean, you could do something like here, put a point there, and then, I don't know, put the last point wherever you really want. You could put it like up here. I don't know. You could do a couple things. But for me, personally, I like what I did here. That's the devotion order. Now, things to note. Resists are good, especially the buff. We're capped, overcapped, overcapped. We're going to start the run in about a second. Health is good. Those are my stats. Might lower this just a little bit, put more in physique. Offense right now is 26. If Deadly Aim and Fighting Spirit are procced and Bard's Harp's hit, that's going up to about 36 to 3,800. That's out of Crucible. So that's a huge, and that's going to happen a lot. Defense will go up to about 34. In Crucible yesterday, when running with a buddy, I think I was hitting with Banner up, and with his buff, I think I was hitting like 41, 4,200 offense ability. I was pretty much 60%, 70% critting things. Because I'm also lowering their defense ability too, with Markovian. So we're going to go through, I'll show you this build. It's really tanky. It can take a lot of heat. We're going to run past a lot of stuff too, though. I'm just going to show you based on heroes. I'll maybe clear some mobs to show you like the Pierce. We got our buffs all on. We're quite a few field command, or presence and blight from our weapon, whirling blades from our weapon, and Mogdragon's Ardor, our relic.
I can't do that yet.
It was 116k crit. I've seen 116k crits. I've seen 175. I've seen occasional 200s if everything's up and debuffs are working. In Crucible, I've seen 300k. I think I've seen a 400k a couple times with the buffs. Look at the Pierce, guys. Just goes through everything. It's got good AoE. The best part is, look at how many skills are on my bar. The heal rebuff, the seal, Ravagers for the debuff, and that for the debuff. Just gonna go through. We're gonna go fight Alcamos in the key zone, guys. I need to farm something there anyway, so it's convenient. Just gonna head all the way down. We're gonna probably stop mainly for heroes, I said, unless it's like a big travel. Like that's not worth my time. See, where Whirling Blades hits for like around me like 3k. Here we go. Here's a good test. 4 heroes. Don't even have to worry about the Aether on the ground. Keep on going. 100k crits are really common, guys. Like you'll see those a lot. 200k depend on certain procs. 300k really depend. I don't know if I can get 300k without Crucible, but those Crucible buffs are huge. Slow pack of mobs. Hit a Ravager debuff, put our seal, and we go to work. Probably for a 300k we need to have seal down. Bard's Harp would have to be procced, which isn't hard. Fighting Spirit and what's his name? Deadly Aim would all have to be up. Markovians would definitely have to proc. I'm just gonna go through the key zone, just showing you guys a quick run through ultimate. Alcamos is pretty good. I've seen that guy give people quite a bit of trouble. So we'll go fight him. Plus I need to go down there anyway. We're just gonna run past this stuff though. But just notice my health, I'm not taking much damage, or if any. Like, they can't even hit me, honestly. Like, they have a 57% chance to hit me only, no chance to crit me. That's without the buff on my defense. And there's my offense proc. It was way higher. It says 21, but it was just higher, probably like a 30% before all my debuffs are applied. There's the Pierce again, just to show you guys. Just goes through. Here's the Pierce again. Nothing can stop you. There's an annoying healer back there. You can get him every time. Like that, right? That healer, dead. Or those healers, just target them and you'll hit them. But yeah, people have been asking for a video on this. They've seen it in my live streams. But I understand live streams are like 4 hours long, so it's hard to find like a clear guide or like know what part of the video to go to. So this will be about, we'll see how long, hopefully no longer than 50 minutes, just to show you gameplay plus the skills. Nice and slow so everybody can understand. I know for some people that have more experience in the game, it's going to be a little annoying how slow it went. But if you really need it, I live stream 6 days a week. Day and night. I do Grim Dawn usually on Monday, like Monday morning / afternoons, depends, like between 11 and 12 I start Eastern time. On Mondays, same thing out with the Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I have a few other builds that I've made. I'm just trying to finish out the components before I do like build guides. So like I have Aether Doombolter, Soul Siphon spec, which is pretty cool. I'll post him at some point. And I have a poison build I'm working on, and then I'm going to be doing a Korbuz, I think, soon too. Korbuz, Shaman, and Nightblade. Soul Pendant. Alright, we're going in. Just kill stuff while we wait. Nemesis is undead now because I've been doing this place a lot lately. Not that I farm Nemesis really. Rather just do Crucible. Oh, we'll go in here. This is a good room to clear. Good test, a lot of heroes in here. Like, I got frozen for like maybe 0.1 second, it felt like. So nothing that's gonna kill you. Pick up all these things. I already have too many of those Paragon enforcers and I never use them. Storm's Edge, Viper Fangs. Okay, I could pick up those, I guess. So we're like running low on space though. Alright, we're just gonna run through. We're gonna try and get to Alcamos as quick as we can, guys. I'm only gonna stop for heroes really now. You guys have gotten the idea of the Pierce. You guys gotten the idea that I'm not taking much damage. There's a hero, we'll fight it. AoE's pretty good on this build overall. Which side? We gotta enter to the right side. There we go, second floor. Now it's just about getting to Alcamos. He's right around the corner. What I'm actually trying to do is like the reason I'm showing you guys Alcamos too. So like, you know, key zones are what I hear a lot of people that come to my stream when they talk about what they're struggling with. I hear a lot of them struggle with the key zones. So I figured I'd just show this quick run. I need the purple rings for my other build. My Korva build I'm gonna be doing very soon. That's like the last piece I need for the fully prepped and ready for 94 once I make them. So we're just gonna go straight. To the right. But yeah, I have characters I can't just run past all this stuff with. Like the archers would kill certain of my characters probably. This guy could take it. Okay, here's Alcamos. I could stand in those circles to a degree, but I don't know if I want to. You know what? We'll try it. Just to give you guys an idea of how tanky this build can be. Oops. Can't even target him because the items on the ground. Yep. That's it, pretty much. Pretty good build though, but yeah. The DPS guys, right now it says 42k because Fighting Spirit's up, but when Deadly Aim's up and Deadly Momentum's going, actually I could probably shoot with this guy. Well, Deadly Aim's gonna be on cooldown now, but I can jump to 59 just with Fighting Spirit up. A little bit more than that. And then I think with Deadly Aim and the Seal, it's like 87, 89. can go up to like 90 something. But that's our build, guys. That's the Tactician. Any questions, please leave a comment. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. You're always welcome to come to the live streams and ask me live. I have my builds usually saved on the live stream. I can bring them up and go over things with people. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's my first one, other than doing live streams. So I've never done a video, but thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed the build. And you guys have a good rest of your day and Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. See ya.